Welcome to the world united. Welcome to the world united.
So pranam and welcome to the Meet the Master series organized by the World United Organization. This series is a prelude to the Third World Parliament on Spirituality, which is being held here in Asia in the month of December. And right now we have 6 continents, 200 nations, 1,000 plus spiritual leaders, bringing us the unified consciousness on one platform. And we are honored to have Vikrantji with us today with the view of, we are going to talk about this consciousness and discuss so many things with you, Vikrantji. So we are really honored to have you here on this platform with us.
Thank you.
A brief intro and then we start with the questions. Dr. Vikrant Singh Tomar is a young, acknowledged trainer, academician, scholar, writer, and a management consultant. He is an internationally certified NLP practitioner. He has worked as a national training resource of INC ICFAI Hyderabad. He's a qualified training member and a National Merit Award holder in electronic enabled training of the prestigious Indian Society of Training and Development, New Delhi. He is also a freelance associate trainer and has given more than 4,000 man-hours in institutional, industrial, defense, civil services training, covering more than 100 organizations across the country and abroad. During these trainings, he has covered diverse areas of professional and corporate excellence. One very interesting book that he has authored, and we would be definitely talking about this, is the Rule the World as Krishna Did. And there is another book which is under publication, that is Science of Emotions. Am I right?
Yes.
Is it still under publication?
Yes, we were working over that.
Okay. And he has spoken and in fact given his thoughts on yogic leadership for 21st century managers. Also has expressed his thoughts on impact of Indian philosophy on modern management. Basically, a postgraduate in management with a doctorate in business management. He is also holding masters in journalism, philosophy, public administration, yoga. Too much to hold for. This varied educational background has made Vikrantji a versatile trainer and consultant. So we are so honored to have such a personality with us.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
So Vikrantji, the very first question we would love to ask you would be that how was Vikrantji when he was a child? What is his family background? What were his interests? And then how he came to what he is doing right now?
As a child, my father was a bureaucrat. He was Madhya Pradesh Civil Services. He was in police. And so my upbringing has taken place at all places wherever he got transferred. So got opportunity to study at multiple places. So the childhood was very beautiful, got love and affection from parents, and got the feeling of patriotism and diligence from my parents only. Their dedication towards their work, their diligence, their honesty has really impressed me throughout my life. And what shifted me towards this, as you asked for, I was 10 years old and my father met with a deadly accident. And I was very close to my father. He died in that accident. So the lingering question of my life since that incident till date has always been, there has to be more to life than taking birth, growing up, giving an exam, settling in career, getting married, having kids, raising them, and dying one day. So the loop is not complete. There is something seriously missing in this loop. So the subconscious quest was that. And as I grew up, I always found my deep interest in Vedic period in history. Though I did my management graduation and PhD, but I have always been interested in Vedic period of history. So that interest brought me to study MA in philosophy. So even that was very interesting. I got rank in university in my MBA also. But when I used to do management post graduation, one thing always used to strike me. Management as its own definition, they say, like, whatever happens, there is a management angle to it. Like, for example, if there is a train accident, then how to investigate it? There must be a guard who failed to perform his duty and did not give right signal. And that's why train continued and it got into accident. So why that guard did it? So management will say, groom him, train him well. He may be dissatisfied or whatever. So management says, if you dig deep into any problem, you will find a human. Any problem will always be because some or the other human problems. So management reaches to this point. If you dig deep into any problem, you will find a human. But the question is, why that human did that mistake? Then management say, no, it's not our concern. Our concern is develop them HRD, human resource development, management, human accounting, auditing, all that. But then I studied psychology, why he did it. Psychology says, okay, his nourishment, his nurture or nature and its own combination may be the reason that made him careless. That's why that guard did not perform his duty. But then two identical twins born out of the same zygote after 18 years of age have 180-degree opposite their nature in spite of being raised from the same nurture. Why? Psychology does not have proper answer to it. They will say, no, it may be the way they perceive things may be different if the incidences are same. But then the answers are not much convincing, because if everything is same to them, then why the perception is 180-degree opposite? And this question, reason behind diversity of perception, brought me into philosophy, MA in philosophy. Why human beings are so different from each other. Then I studied MA in philosophy, where I got an opportunity to learn Indian Vedas and Upanishads. And I must tell you, then it was a kind of rebirth. It shook me from my core, and I thought, oh, this is what I have been searching for. So I started my journey into spiritualism just after reading Vedas and Upanishads. It was no classes I ever attended, no person I ever met. So it appears like direct from horse's mouth. So I did a proper course and MA in philosophy, and that changed my life view completely. And just to add on, and then the philosophy taught me that when a person takes birth, there are three things that he comes with and he is given. One is called birth sanskaras. His journey of lifetimes is one of the reasons because which he is like this. Second is his pitra sanskaras, parenting, nurturing. And third is his karma sanskaras, his own deeds. So together we become a combination of these three inputs. So now the answer was complete. So from management to philosophy, searching an answer. Thank you.
That was wonderful. So you think for you, that since there is no guru, as you say, that you don't have any guru, any guiding light, any mentor, or nobody ever to tell you that what and which direction you should take. So possibly it was your birth sanskaras. And of course, because you were born into a family, like, I mean, from your parents, and karma to aap kar rahe hain, you're doing it. Right? So you think that there is no guru, there is no requirement of a guru then? Can one be into spirituality without any?
I think guru is must. And if I need to redefine GPS, then I will say guru positioning system. That is GPS. Though I will certainly reach my destination, wherever is my destination. But if I have somebody specifically telling me, take right, left, then I will reach early. So it is not that without guru we cannot reach, but yes, with guru, we can reach with grace in less time, less attempts, with more clarity. So I will not say that I did not have any guru. I will say I had many gurus, but not as such a single person from whom I learned everything. Variety of the people like uh, Dattatreya Bhagwan, he had 24 gurus. So I'm really impressed with Dattatreya Bhagwan, that learn from people and then you cultivate it together. And why I don't have a single guru? So I believe this: when the student is ready, master appears. So probably the kind of quest I have and the student in me is not yet ready, that the kind of master I want appears. So I have to be more eligible to deserve the master whom I will meet in due course of time.
Absolutely wonderful. So it means that whatever you desire, whatever kind of direction you want to go in, if your desire is so strong, the guru appears to guide you, right? That's very, very interesting. Now let us talk about your book, because that title really made me so much interested. I wanted to listen about it from you. You write, "Rule the world as Krishna did." So you believe in Krishna, or you've studied him so deeply?
Both. As Adi Shankaracharya said, you can't love anything which you don't know. So you need to know first, then only you can love. And yes, knowing has variety of definitions. Some people know things from heart. Some people know things from intuition, intelligence. So there are variety of methods. But yes, Gita enchanted me from the beginning. I always believed that Gita always inspires the man of action, and Upanishads the man of thoughts. So these are such inspirational manuals for mankind. I always feel that if you want to search outside, then outside search engine is Google, and inside search engine is Gita. Since the inception of the world, I feel, Jyotiji, there has been three struggles. Since last 5,000 years, or not only 5,000, let's say 20 lakh years of human existence. Three struggles. Struggle of man versus man. Struggle of man versus within. And struggle of man versus nature. And if you go back 20 lakh years, in none of these three struggles we improved actually. We have been deteriorating in these struggles even. Yes, in the struggle of man versus nature, we have improved to be pre-warned from the nature so that we can run when tsunami comes, but we cannot control it. So when the problems are still the same, why can't solutions be still the same? So whether it is 21st century AD or BC, when the problems are same, solution should also come from the same source. So that taught me to write my own thoughts on Gita. How do I see it? So this book called Rule the World as Krishna Did, I meant internal world. As they say, generations in past got vanished because of the external attacks, and generations in future will get vanished due to internal attack. Like some of the doctor was telling me, he was attending one of my talks. So he was telling me that it is quite very right. People come to the hospital. He was a heart surgeon. He said people come to the hospital, and so beautifully he said, मुझे लगता है कि लोगों को हृदयाघात नहीं होता, विचाराघात होता है. People don't have heart attack, they have thought attacks, which manifests in body. So I wrote this book with a design and thing in mind, that let's have a right perception of this world. First our internal world and then external world. So this book is written for Western audience more specifically. And it's I must say it's a soft study, not detailed study, because it's an introductory book of Gita. Okay. And next book which we are writing, Science of Emotions, it will be detailed analysis of Gita. But Rule the World as Krishna Did is a general understanding about this divine scripture, so that we can know ourselves better.
Okay, that is very good. Now, there's one more question that, is related to the same book, because Gita talks about so many yogas, all the 4 yogas, we know it. It's talking about, and you believe in karma yoga, as you said. So is karma yoga, you are relating it to management? There's one more question that I just, asked you about this. You said psychology also you studied. I didn't read that anywhere. Are you an MA in psychology also?
I read psychology out of my interest.
That was out of interest. Okay.
Yes.
Because
And in depth means lot of books I read, so I love reading it.
love reading it, and that has made you, go into the psyche of human beings. Okay. So yes, the question was that because you're talking about management, you're talking about karma yoga, you're talking about karma. So how do you relate spirituality for any organization, and how important you think it is in your talks? You must be conveying all this.
It's an important question, Jyotiji. Let's first understand what karma exactly is. So karma stands for every thought, every feeling, every word, and every action that we do. So even if you think something, a karma has taken place. And Swami Vivekananda always used to say, whenever you think something, that particular thought leaves its footprints on your psyche for its further repetition. That's why you see people live in patterns. People have relationship breakup patterns. People have patterns that people deceive them. People have patterns, people use them. People have patterns of depression, because the moment you entertain one thought, it leaves its footprint, subtle footprint, for its further repetition. And similarly happens in organizations also. I say that one neuron is biology, 2 neurons is psychology, and 3 neurons is sociology. So it's that complicated. Fine, it's that complicated. When 2 people who have not properly understood each other are working together in an organization, how can they understand each other? And when 10 people who can't understand themselves, how can they understand the organization itself? And that's why you must have seen that in organization, we get hired because of the skills we have. You yourself are professor, you know that. Remember your own interviews. There must be NEET exam, NAT exam, many technical questions must have been asked. So we get hired because of the skills we have. But in the job, we get fired because of the behavior we carry. It's now all about behavior we have. And behavior comes from clarity within ourselves. If the person himself is very much clear within himself, he can behave properly. Otherwise, people react. And a person who is karma yogi responds. So what is karma yogi? In one line, right action with, I must say, proper action with right attitude. 2 components, right action, proper action. Proper action means the action should be itself sattvic. If whatever you are not doing is not dharmic, then it's not a karma. It's a vikarma. It's not in your territory to do it. You should not have done it. And second, even if you are doing right karma, the attitude you have behind that karma is most important. Like if I'm taking a session, and I expect people to like what I'm saying, it is a wrong attitude. If I'm a boss in an organization, I expect my subordinates to appreciate me, it's a wrong attitude. So attitude, if I'm a junior and if I'm suggesting something to my boss and if he doesn't listen, and then I make a promise, now onwards I won't suggest him even, it's a wrong attitude. So right action with proper attitude is karma yoga. Your voice is not coming. Your voice.
Yeah. Yes. But absolutely wonderful. It's very, very clear. And I wish people do become karma yogis. This world would become beautiful, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
So this is what you've been giving. There is one more topic that you talked about is, yogic. Sorry, just missed that. Yes. You were talking about yogic leadership. You have talked on that for 21st century leaders. What was that exactly? What is yogic leadership? Here, we are not talking of karma.
Yes. So leadership is not a noun, it's a verb. I take sessions across the world, and many of the people who come through big exams, and they say, sir, we become leaders during their training programs. So I very politely tell them, look, you got leadership positions. Being a leader and getting leadership position are two different things. Out of your experience, you must have met many people who have been on leadership positions since last 30 years, but they have never could become leader. So how to become leader and how yoga can contribute in that. So yoga word itself means to add, to connect. So yogic leadership means to connect my word, actions and thoughts. When as a leader, I say what I mean and I do what I said, I will gain the respect of the subordinates. I can transform them. This is what you call transformational leadership. We would not like any person in our family or nation who says something, does something, or feels something else. So I will quote one verse from Bhagavad Gita, 700th verse, the last verse of Gita, that talks about yogic leadership. Yatra Yogeshwar Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanudhara, Tatra Shri Vijay Bhuti Dhruva Niti Mati Mama. Yatra Yogeshwar Krishna. Wherever there is Yogeshwar Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanudhara. Wherever there is Partha Dhanudhar, Tatra, there Shri, Lakshmi will be there. Money will be there. Prosperity will be there. Bhuti, Samriddhi will be there. Victory, Vijay will be there. Dhruva Niti, it's an eternal policy. Whether it is Maruti or military, Bharat or Pakistan, 21st century AD or BC, Dhruva Niti, Mati Mama, this is what I think, and Gita concludes.
Yes.
So it also talks about the same thing, that once you become a Yogeshwara, then you can be a leader. And there are many other fast aspects of it also. So I take full day sessions on grooming people, on yogic leadership, with variety of aspects. Like second word, Yogeshwara, Krishna. Krishna means darshan. Your vision should be right. Third word is Partha. Yatra Yogeshwar Krishna, Yatra Partha. Partha means patience. You should have that dharya also. Dhanudhar means ability to execute. So when these are fold qualities you will have together, then you will become a yogic leader. How to generate it, that I train in those sessions.
So a scattered personality cannot become a good leader, definitely. So
you get into a dissonance.
Yes. So you also give a kind of a training where you have to converge, get centered. I mean, this kind of a training are you giving along with your talks on management?
I take training programs on all various aspects of human behavior, like leadership, team building, work-life balancing, emotional intelligence, stress management. I mentor more than 100 people from across the globe. Merging man, vachan and karma together, their thoughts, mind and action should be aligned. So trying to make this happen in anybody's personality, this is what we try to do from variety of training programs across the globe.
Okay. So no, what I meant was, is it just, training them, or you're training, giving some kind of a yogic training also along with all this?
Okay. All my training has got yogic base only. Like for example, if I need to converge their personality, then I will pick something from Taittiriya Upanishad called Panch Kosha model. Annamaya Kosh, Manomaya Kosh, Vijnanmaya Kosh, Pranamaya Kosh, and Anandamaya Kosha. And how those koshas can be cohesively coexist in you. So then I train people how to elevate their personality. So all those 5 koshas cohesively exist in you, and then you can go beyond these koshas to realize yourself. So all modules, whichever I teach, they have, like yogic leadership comes from 1 verse of Gita. Personality development comes from 5 kosha model. And any, like for example, if I mentor people on psychological issues, then I pick those 3 orders of reality One order is called subjective reality, objective reality, and third is absolute reality, pradibhasik satyam, then illusionary reality. So these all together. So every module which I make has come out of yogic concepts only.
Okay, so it means your master's in philosophy, your master's in yoga has really helped you, you know, and you find it so relevant in these modern times, is it? And you include them. So what is this workplace spiritual management that you talk about?
Okay, so there is one verse of Gita. It says, Yuktahar viharasya, Yukta chestasya karmashu, Yukta sapnavabodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkhaha. So beautiful verse on work-life balancing for corporates. So it says that Yuktahar viharasya. Yukta means balanced. Ahar, eat balanced. If you will eat less, you will lose energy. If you eat more, you will help doctors. So, Yukta ahar, viharasya. Assure that you should have time for yourself also. Recreation, time for your family. Otherwise, like Steve Jobs, we will be leaving this world saying, oh, he said, oh wow, oh wow, oh wow, thrice. Because his dying thoughts was, I couldn't connect to my own kids and my family. I connected whole world. I couldn't give time for my own hobbies. Viharasya. Assure that recreation and family time should be yukt, not less or not more. Yuktahar vihara. Yukta chestasya karmashu. And even give the appropriate time for job also. I always wonder people who give more time to their jobs. If you go deep into their psyche, probably some reason is they have a cavity in their own personality. They are missing something. Either they have not proper connect with their own family, or it may also happen they are missing something badly in their life, and to fill that cavity, they need more work. Because once you get free time, then those old feelings, ancient old feelings, your thoughts, miserable experience come and haunt you. So at times we want more work just to engage ourselves. So,
are these some kind of subconscious patterns?
Yes, they are. And they work over us. I have researched many places, and there are many researches on this also. If you lack love in your life, you drive fast. If you lack love in your life, either you eat a lot or either you eat a little. If you lack love in your life, you do not give leave to your subordinates. If you lack love in your life, you shop more, you do more shopping. If you lack love in your life, you want mighty positions just to engage yourself. If you lack love in your life, you want people around you surrendering you so that you can feel more entertained and more important. All these are the implications. If you lack love in your life, you get hurt from furniture often at your home also. If you lack love in your life, you will have pixels at your face also. It may also. If you lack love in your life, you may see many different kinds of dreams, haunting dreams. If you lack love in your life, you cannot concentrate longer for any conversation, and you cannot close your eyes and meditate. So a simple thing can create so many aspects. It's just a spontaneous thought that came to me. So you can imagine.
But it was wonderful. It was so awesome. And I am thinking now I'll be seeing, how people are behaving. What is that they're lacking here? But this was really awesome. Awesome. Great. Just on love, you could speak so much. Wonderful. Okay. You said that diversity in perception that we all have. You wish to unify that. I mean, you don't wish to. In fact, you want people to have that oneness in this diversity. How can that be brought? In an organization, in an institution, at workplace. We are not talking about anything else right now, because you're being training there.
I want in the organizational workplace. Look how this workplace got evolved. This workplace has evolved from a mechanized system. Why it has evolved from a mechanized system? We all act as tools in a machine. Like there used to be industrial mode of production in economics, and then this whole industries came into existence. A bell will ring, you will be inside. A bell will ring, you will be outside. Same happens in school also. Everybody will wear the same uniform, same behavior, same, and you start behaving like a tool in a machine. So that's why you see stress, tension, and pressure. These three words were only words in the physics 50 years back. They were not words related to human behavior, not at all. They are recently being introduced after industrialization. So these are the gifts of industrialization, the mechanical life that we got. So when I say that I want to unify, what I want to tell you is, I want to create a world where we should be unifiedly unique. We should be unique in our own self. Because when I was born, world has never heard that voice ever again, ever before, and world will never listen that voice ever again after me. Even if I believe in rebirth, it is my only chance to be me. So I am so unique. In next birth, I won't be me. So everybody is so unique. I don't want them to be alike. No. But in their uniqueness, I want them to see a unification also. That yes, we vary at the superficial level, but at one level, we are the vibrations of the same vibration. And how it can happen in organization? Every organization needs this. This is what they call in their own technical terms, unity of direction, unity of action. So we all vary in our opinion. Our organization should have a culture that, yes, if Jyoti doesn't agree with me, even I am her super boss, she should have that courage and liberty to say, boss, I disagree with you. Loud and clear, eye into eye. I don't agree with what you said. Without thinking what will be the impact on her CR when she will say this. Without worrying about my reaction to what you said. And I should, as a boss, should also have that guts to appreciate the criticism. And then after listening from your point of view and listening from everybody's point of view, if I am the boss and everybody, 60% of the people disagreed with what I said, but if I am the boss and if I decide, no, still what I said should be executed, then all 60% people should also have those guts to follow what I said, because they had freedom to express, but I have right to decide. So let's create an organization where we should be free to express. Leadership should be cohesively working with everybody. And then it will become everybody's organization, where we will not judge people. Like, for example, when a person does not follow you, he is disobeying the boss and boss starts firing him. Can boss take out some little time to inquire about whether or not his wife got detected from cancer 1 month back and you still don't know about it, and that's why he's not feeling like working in organization? Or somewhere his son is not studying well and that's why he's depressed, or he is struggling from some issues. So taking those time and inquiring into people's life, making it more human. So we should be uniquely unified.
So that is empathy one should have, understanding one should have. And that can be brought into lives only again when there is love. This is what love is, caring, trying to understand, trying to sympathize. In fact, not sympathize, empathize. Indeed. But people generally don't do this. It's such a fragmented world, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And making it whole is something very, very difficult. So you as a trainer, wherever you go, you try to, how you try to push people into this? And can you just give us one example or share an experience where people have really changed? Or you found that they want to change, maybe if they have not changed, they really wish to?
I was taking session in Tihar jail. Let me take a very peculiar example. So jails in India are a very different world. And I happened to take programs for life prisoners. All of them got at least 18 to 20 years of punishment. And majority of them has done big mistakes, big crime. That's why they are given life imprisonment. So generally 70% of the people feel that they have not done anything wrong. They either feel that the punishment is more than what they deserve or the punishment itself is wrong. They have not done anything wrong. So when you, I said 70% of the people, can you imagine that?
Why is that? Why is that?
It is human psyche that we perceive world from our specs only. Like for example, if my enemy does something good, I will say by chance. He may be pressured, that's why he is doing it, because he is not like this. He may be having some ulterior motives, then only he is doing it. He really wanted something good from us, that's why he is doing it. But if our friend does something bad, then we say, oh no, maybe due to circumstances he must have done it. No, he is not like this. We are so biased. And this is not what I am saying. You read all books on evolutionary psychology. They said human beings are biased by evolution. By evolution means it says all 7.5 billion people on the planet are biased. Some or the other way. And they have done many experiments to prove it. But the question comes, why we are biased? You see in households only. When a daughter does a mistake, that does not become the big news in house. But when a daughter-in-law does that mistake, then people talk 7 days about it. So people are by default biased. But why it happened? So evolutionary psychology said, as an animal, our only instinct is to survive. We call ourselves human, but evolution does not term us human. It is good to call ourselves human, but evolution says we are just an animal. Fine. So this animal, our only instinct is to survive. And whatever, whosoever, whensoever will appear to me as a threat, I will attack. Whether that person is my own son even, mother will love the son till son will behave like a son. The day son will constantly start giving pain to mother for the long period of time, then mother will leave the son itself. So this is what Upanishads also say, that we love ourselves. And why it happened? Because in evolution, loving people who sync with us gives me more safety. Hating people who are threat to me makes me more safer. Means in both cases, it is just for my survival. And that's why we are biased. And that's why whole Buddhism says, never ever trust your feelings. They deceive you. Yes. Go beyond your feelings. And that's why they say, Aman, Upanishad say, Aman ho jana. Aman ka matlab hi hai shanti. जब आप मन से परे हो जाते हो. And for that Buddhism say, विशेष पश्यना, गौर से देखिए. आपको पता पड़ेगा ये मन झूठ बोल रहा है आपसे. एक छोटा सा एक्सपेरिमेंट हम बताएं ज्योति जी. यूरोप में एक्सपेरिमेंट हुआ, बड़े फेमस प्रोफेसर है, नाम अभी हमें याद नहीं आ रहा. सो उन्होंने एक्सपेरिमेंट ये किया, एक हॉल में काफी पुरुषों को बिठा के बोला गया आप अपने करियर के ऑब्जेक्टिव्स लिखिए. करियर में आप क्या करना चाहते हैं, आपके क्या एस्पिरेशंस हैं. और दूसरे हॉल में पुरुषों को बिठा के यही टास्क दिया गया. दोनों हॉल में एक ही टास्क था, पर एक हॉल में बहुत खूबसूरत महिलाओं को भी बिठाया गया था, उनको भी टास्क दिया हुआ था. ठीक. अब इंटरेस्टिंगली जिस हॉल में खूबसूरत महिलाएं बैठी थी, उस हॉल में जो पुरुष थे, उन्होंने करियर एस्पिरेशंस एवरेज से रिलेटिवली हायर लिखे. जबकि पुरुष महिला में एक भी शब्द का संवाद नहीं हो रहा है, सब चुपचाप बैठ के अपना काम कर रहे हैं. Just by the presence of female changed the behavior of male without talking at all. कंट्रोल ग्रुप और एक्सपेरिमेंट ग्रुप में अंतर देखा. फिर इवोल्यूशनरी साइकोलॉजिस्ट ने कहा ऐसा क्यों होता है? क्योंकि 20 लाख साल से दोनों जेंडर एक दूसरे को इंप्रेस करने का प्रयास करते आए टू सर्वाइव एंड टू गिव बर्थ टू नेक्स्ट जनरेशन. इवोल्यूशनरी साइकोलॉजी कहती है कि हमारा पर्पस ही है टू पास ऑन आवर जीन टू नेक्स्ट जनरेशन. And that's why we pass on our gene to next generation through impressing them. And that's why male became conscious just by the presence of female just to impress them. And this is how it goes. So we are biased subconsciously.
Can this be changed? Can people, made at the DNA level we talk of now, can people change at that level through yoga?
100%. Yoga is the science of that change only. Yoga so beautifully says there are 8 steps. These are the 8 steps and you walk. Because that evolutionary setup that is inside us is for an animal. Now I'm sitting in an air-conditioned room in this safe world. I don't have threat from anything. Though this setup which we have, psychological setup, is made for jungles, not for civilization. But now we are civilized, so there are 8 steps. Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, and you are over. Like you could see initially it is physical, like for animals. Then it goes to psychological, and then finally it reaches to spiritual. Dharana means from many thoughts. From many to some is dharana. From some to one is dhyan. Yes. From one to none is samadhi. Aman ho jana, man se pare ho jana. So it's a proper science of it. And Swami Rama and many such Swamis lended their bodies to be experimented. That you can, just by proper yogic sadhana, you can change the blood flow in your body. Can you imagine that? All things which are automatic in the body, you can change the blood circulation in your body. So they have demonstrated it.
You belong to Jain. सिंहस्थ में बहुत कुछ देखने को मिल जाता है.
जी. Indeed.
You must have met so many. I believe so. Right?
Yes. बहुत सारे पूरे दुनिया भर से संत इकट्ठे होते हैं, and it's such a beautiful event called Sinhastha or Kumbh.
Yes,
it's a beautiful event and great spiritual carnival. Indeed.
Yes. So there's, like you were saying, from many to some and some to one is dharana. There's something, a similar theory in psychology also. Maslow's theory, if you remember. It also talks of the same thing, that pyramid, where it is the survival maximum and then it goes up and then it goes up. So spirituality, rare people can use, or to that unconditional place, only rare few people can use. What advice you would like to give from this platform to the world? How they should progress and how they should reach, what and how you visualize it?
So first let me comment a bit on Maslow's hierarchy.
Yeah.
Maslow's hierarchy is very much evolutionary in nature. It is not revolutionary in nature. Spiritualism is revolutionary in nature. Why it is revolutionary? Because it revolts against natural selection. It says enough of being animal. Let's go beyond it. So Maslow's hierarchy, with all due respect, is evolutionary. Let me tell you its limitation. And with a real example. 5 needs, it says. Safety, esteem, and all those needs. I met an officer in Indian paramilitary services in a training academy. He did his management degree from one of the IIMs, Indian Institute of Management. And he was one of the best outgoing of that. And in leadership paper, he scored very high there also in that IIM. So he was narrating his story. He said, Dr. Tomar, after doing my complete education from IIM, when I was posted in a Naxal-infected belt, Naxalism, you know it. So when I was posted in a Naxal-infected belt, and my team and I was surrounded by many Naxalis and they were firing on us, and it was a life-threatening situation. Leadership was most needed at that situation. If I failed to lead properly, then certainly me and all others will lose their lives. And then what he said was revolutionary. He said, Dr. Tomar, let me tell you. From my heart, I must tell you, at that critical situation, when leadership was must, what was Herschel Blanchard situational leadership model? What was Alderfer's ERG theory? What was Maslow's need hierarchy, and what is that need right now of my subordinate and me? What was Henry Fayol's 14 principles of management and which applies now? None of these things at all comes to your mind. At all. Nobody can think of it. You may be the gold medalist in management. You cannot. What comes to your mind is Allah, Waheguru, Hanumanji, and some spiritual talks, which you learned from your very childhood. So what I want to bring home is these theories who are evolutionary have limitations. And these theories which are revolutionary can help us to reach to limitless. So what kind of world I envisage? A world which will remove all the specs. A world which will have no specs. So there are 12 specs, glasses this world wears. And I want to break all those. What are those? Let me read for you. Let me tell for you. One is called racism, is the specs. We see from race to race. Another is at times when you define nationalism also in a bad term, then nationalism is another thing, and that leads to world war. Racism leads to Holocaust. Third is Kshetravad, regionalism, Marathi Bhau, Gujarati Manus, and you fail to see human behind. Fourth is Jati, caste, that leads to Chhuachut, another specs. I see it from my casteist thought. Next is improper definition of religion, dharma. 1,000 years of crusade word suffered just because of dharma. Wrong definition of dharma. And still Arab-Israel conflict is same. Next is sthiti, position. It means whether you belong to the winning clan or the losing clan. If you belong to the winning clan, so aap swami banenge. You will be feudal lord. And if you belong to the losing clan, then you will be a slave. And world has suffered this slavery. Whole Africa has suffered this slavery for years and centuries. These 6 things which I mentioned are given to us before birth even. Can you imagine this? Every child is born with these facts. Because the moment child is born, it is said, iska nasl ye hoga, his nationality will be this, he belongs to this nation, this area, this caste, this dharma, and this position. And 2 things he gets when he takes birth. One is gender. You both are women. You know well how long women had to struggle on this planet just to get voting rights, just to get a say and voice on this planet, because we wear the specs of male chauvinism. So this is a world I imagine which will break these specs. 8th is color, black and white. Martin Luther King lost his life. John F. Kennedy lost his life. Abraham Lincoln lost his life just because he tried to break these specs, these glasses. So these rang, color, America is still suffering from that. 4 more. So this is total 8. Last 4. Earth, economy. When the child, after some time of his birth, he knows I am rich, I belong to a rich family. And then he comes to know that there are 3 types of the world: developed, developing, and underdeveloped. And they keep on fighting with each other. Then is the thought. Communist or capitalist, 40 years of Cold War and still going on. South Korea versus North Korea, America versus Russia, and next is Varg, class. You know that in India, class 1 officers and class 2 officers and class 3 and class 4 officers, and how this bureaucratic racism works. Fine. And last is gender orientation. Still people are fighting gay, lesbian, and straight. People look down upon them. So I see and have a vision of a world which will remove all these glasses and see it clearly. And Vedanta will be the foundation of that clarity.
So people like you, who are coming in contact with so many people, can put across this message in so many forms, which I think you've already been doing and conveying. So that is why this World United has come here, that we convey, the message through different perceptions, different people from different continents, various nations, and putting us, the world which is fragmented should become whole.
Indeed.
And this is your message. Right? Prachiti, any question?
Yeah, when I was listening to Dr. Vikrant telling about animal behavior, then we now being comfortably seated in the surroundings and becoming no relating to human behavior. But then, Dr. Vikrant, don't you think that when human beings make themselves really very comfortable in the comfort zones with good jobs, lucrative remuneration, and all, don't they again revert to animal behavior? This is what is being sensed in the society. The crime rate is increasing, the violence is increasing. So, somewhere we are going back to where our roots are, maybe the animal instinct.
I feel, Prachiti, that we have really not grown up. Only our toys has changed. Earlier we were in that jungle, now we are in concrete jungle. That time also the basic instinct was fear and survival. Still you go around in the organization, the only instinct is fear. All the people, whether they are in government job, private job, everybody is afraid either of the seniors losing the job, getting, or whatever. Deep down, even in relationship, people are afraid. So yes, I agree with you that still we are behaving, many of us really behave like animals, and we need to improve. And another thing is, these all development, as I told you, three struggles, development has not really taken place. And regarding this comfortable setup, is a comfortable physical setup only. Comfortable mental setup is still something which we need to achieve in the long period. And comfortable spiritual or right spiritual setup is the objective of World United again.
Absolutely wonderful answer. So convincing, so nicely put, well articulated. Thank you so much.
Perfect.
It was great.
Okay, thank you so much, Vikrantji. You just gave us your precious moments and spent some time with us. And you
I will take 1 minute, Jyotiji. I'm sorry to
sure.
interrupt you in between. I will like to utilize this platform to invite everybody that just with this particular motive which World United has, we also conduct classes on Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita classes we conduct just with the vision that world can be united together, and Vedanta can also be one of the strong pillar behind it. So anybody can then type on YouTube Project Gita, G-I-T-A
Oh,
Gita,
yes.
Project Gita.
I really missed. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I missed that Gita series. Right. You did tell me about that. So please let us hear something about that from you. Take your time.
So we with that the same objective of unifying this whole world in the right perspective, we started 2014 Project Self Incorporation USA. Project Self means we ourselves are our biggest project. And then Project Self Incorporation Bharat also incorporated in 2018. So now we are also operating in all 5 continents in the world and trying to disseminate this spiritual message. And one of the strong mode of that dissemination is Project Gita. Project Gita means we translate Gita into more modern, understandable and clear terms so that every common person can relate to it and can solve his day-to-day problems and elevate to the spiritual level with Gita. Another initiative that we took is called Akshara Kids Academy. It's a school that we launched for the first time in Bharat. It has best of both of the world. We took best of the learnings from Gurukulam, and we took the syllabus of the best of the schools in New York, district schools of New York. We combined it, and then we are presenting it for the children who are unprivileged. So I invite everybody, whenever they come to Ujjain, Madhya Pradesh, this school is in Ujjain, Madhya Pradesh, Bharat. Whenever they happen to come to India and they come to Ujjain, they can come and visit it. It will motivate the staff, meet those kids and see how they are chanting Sanskrit mantras with knowing their meanings and how they are fluent in latest English and other languages also. So we are trying to mix both, and so that our new generation can have Gita inculcated in them from the beginning itself. Thank you.
Definitely. They're going to become much better citizens of India, and then the world at large will be benefited. Definitely. That's something very good. Putting down Gita into, those easy forms. Is it in electronic form also?
Yes.
On YouTube and
on YouTube there is a video series on Project Gita. If you go in YouTube and you write GITA Gita, Project GITA Gita, then there is a playlist. In that playlist, you'll find all talks which I have made on Gita in very simple words.
Very simple words for people to, rest. And when at the younger age, children are taught this, definitely they'll become into much mature, sensible human beings. And the world will and should be benefited. That's a very, very interesting talk that we had today. And your contribution is immense. We are thankful to you. Thank you so much. Thank you, we really wish that we have many more talks with you.
My good wishes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.